welcome. We are here to play. You can check out anytime you like a game based in the Firebrand system by Marn S. And I'm Mads, they, them pronouns. And I've played a couple of Firebrands games before, and this one struck my interest because of the whole surreal horror nature of it. And I'm very interested to delve into this. I'm playtesting it with not playtesting it. I'm trying it out with a couple of other groups as well. So we'll see if this shared experiment works. And then I just want to popcorn this over and get the other players introduced as well. So I'm going to popcorn this over to Susan.
Hello, my name is Susan. Um, what all, how should I introduce myself? Uh,
Pronouns, interest in the game, experience.
my name is Susan Quintana. My pronouns are she, her. My interest in the game comes from Mads being an incredible game master. And when they posted that they were looking for players, I went, I don't care what it is, I'd like to play with them again. And it just so happened that my time lined up. I also have a deep love of Yazibas, and this kind of reminds me a little bit of certain aspects of that game. I have no experience with you can check out anytime you like, or with Firebrands. So I'm really excited to get on this journey with a game master that I trust and adore. Um, I have a lot of experience in gaming. I'm one of those people that started playing Dungeons and Dragons when they were 15 years old for like a very long time, and then went, oh, other games exist. And I've never looked back. So I am a high school teacher by day, a podcaster by night. I have a podcast called Novel Games. You can listen to it anywhere you can find podcasts. I gather my friends and we try to tell stories through indie tabletop role-playing games. So if you're interested in that stuff, you could check that out too. Sorry for the shameless self-promotion, Mads. Um, I will popcorn this over to Mac because I liked his mug earlier when I saw it.
This is my favorite mug, actually, it's for tea, especially. Hi, my name is Mac. I use he, they pronouns. I do not have any experience with firebrands, but I have a ton of experience with a million different other role-playing games. I've been role-playing for over 20 years, and I enjoy it greatly. Like Susan, I started with D&D. I think a lot of us do. But I still play too. But I play a little bit of everything now. But I generally don't get a chance to stream much. I don't have anything else going on right now, so I'm excited to be playing. I'm always excited to play with Mads. And My interest in this game specifically, one, I like these like mystery hotel style games. I One that I would love to play that I've got all set up is this Discord has ghosts, which has a similar vibe to it. Uh, and also, the Hotel California is one of my favorite songs of all times. So lots of win-win for me. Um, and I will popcorn it over to Will.
Sure. My name is Will, pronouns he, him. I'm playing from Los Angeles, California. Um, I have been gaming on and off since elementary school, mostly off, I'm afraid. Finding a face-to-face group that'll play the games that I'm interested in is always a little touchy. So it's great. I found online gaming in 2019 and just sort of grabbed onto it like a particularly enthusiastic remora. It's great to be able to actually make it through my TTRPG backlog and actually see some of these games happen. I have played in a few Firebrands games before. For the Honor, a two shot of that, a short run of Stew Pot, and a couple episode run of Magic Repair Shop or Magical Repair Shop, and it's a fun vibe. I have never played. You can check out anytime you like, but surreal, weird, modern horror is my jam. Um, my partner and I ran a World of Darkness game that was set in some weird town in the desert. And Hotel California was on the vibe aesthetic playlist. So I'm here for this.
Oh, I'm so glad that you are all here because this is going to be an interesting playthrough for sure. And this is going to be shared with the other series that I plan on posting on here, and you'll see what I mean. Hopefully, like as we go through our our series. Um, but I will go with, I'll start with an introduction as well as a review of the safety tools that are available because with any of my games, with all of my games, I like to make sure that everybody feels like, they understand the expectations that are put on the table as well as feeling like they have safety tools that they can call upon to make sure that everybody feels like, they're going to have a chance to be heard and, they're going to feel safe when they play. All right. So, to make sure that everybody's on the same page for this, the intro slash concept for the game you can check out anytime you like is welcome to the Hotel California, the world's only hotel completely removed from time and space. We are proud to host guests of all time periods and alternate dimensions, manifesting wherever desperate and weary travelers need us most. Enjoy your indefinite stay at the Hotel California. You're free to check out whenever you'd like. Whether the hotel chooses to let you leave, well, that's a different matter entirely. Your aim is to create messy entanglements and to inject surreal horror into the everyday. Anything goes. Kiss your doppelganger, find yourself in a corridor that stretches farther than the length of the entire building, or play an anomaly who's a walking topiary structure. The hotel is a place of both stagnation and rest, a sentient place outside of time and space with strange morals that can be both antagonistic and nurturing towards its residents in turns. Whenever anyone asks you a question about your character or the current situation, answer it. If you don't know the answer, make it up. If you find that you've missed a rule or played a game incorrectly, just try to go along with the other players and do what's most fair. You can work out what should have happened later when you aren't playing. The tone of this game has vibes of horror, strange reality, and could verge into psychological darkness and dread, with moments of humor sprinkled in. Subject matter. According to the designer, this is a loving homage to The Shining, NanQuest, and the songs of the 70s and 80s they grew up listening to. That said, it's a game of surreal horror and could include aspects of violence, murder, shifting reality, and the possibility of character death. Everyone's safety comes first, so there are safety tools available to everyone to help play safely. So those safety tools that are mentioned and suggested are the X card by John Stavropoulos, which is, of course, if there's anything that comes up that's unfun in an objectionable way, or if something is way tonally off, like, established, of course, because of the liminal nature of the thing, like, it's just something that doesn't seem to fit in the moment per se, then, everybody's free to make an X in the video or say X card out loud or make an X in the chat, call attention to it. We will stop play, find out, clarify what is being X carded. We take that out and then we continue play from that moment forward. We will again clarify what needs to be X carded, but we will never ask why. Okay. There's also script change. So we have the tools within script change like pause. So something a little bit like X card. So if we're getting close to a topic that may be like, can we kind of like pause and discuss? I think we need to kind of like take this a little bit offline. Stop recording. We'll discuss what's a little bit touchy about this particular subject, and then we'll only resume when everybody feels comfortable to to resume. Fast forward if something doesn't need to be role played out fully, or we just want to do a time jump. Perfectly happy to do a fast forward and a rewind if we have a point where you make a decision and you start play from there, but then you're like, ooh, that decision didn't go as I expected. Can we rewind and go back to that decision tree point and take the other way? That's perfectly fine. Okay. Um, Cats, which I just went over, like the concept, aim, tone, and subject matter, that is also a safety tool. So, again, that is like laying out the expectations for the game and for the table. And then lines and veils. In our character keeper, where we're keeping all the information about the game, we have a safety tab, which contains our lines, which are things that will not be mentioned in the game. We'll try not to include it whatsoever. And then veils are things that topics that might be mentioned in the flashback, things that could be included in a memory, or things that we will not role play out fully. All right. So we'll just kind of fade to black on those. There's also an ask first column. So again, like maybe a topic that maybe you can mention, but like just come into the meta conversation and say, is it okay if I mention this? Okay. And then an interest column, of course, like, for those of anybody that plays trophy with me, you know that there's always like a checkbox on body horror, but it is what it is. And marking it off like means that you want something of interest to be included in this particular game, or to appear in the future within the gameplay. Okay. And it is a living document, so if something is not triggering at the moment, but then comes up later in a different format or something else happens, and you just want to mark it off then, you totally can. Just like somebody apprise me or the other players that something has changed, something has been added to the safety document, so this way we can all make sure that we're all on the same page and keeping each other safe. Okay? Yeah. And then... and there's also a notes column, so just in case there's like something that we just need to be aware of in terms of any of the topics listed on lines, veils, ask first, and interest, then that's very helpful as well. Okay, so any questions whatsoever about our cats, our safety, or anything to start? Good. Okay. Cool. So, we're gonna go offline for just a little bit, as I will explain to the players how to create their characters, and then when we come back, we're going to introduce the characters, and then I'll introduce a little bit more about the gameplay as it goes. Okay, so I'm going to go pause, and we're going to come back in a little bit. All right, we're back, and I'm going to read the blurb on top of each of the playbooks per se, and then we're each going to introduce our characters. Okay, so you are a guest of the Hotel California, either scooped up from the present day or displaced from your time period, alternate universe. You are on the run from something. It might be a masked killer who chased you to the hotel's doorstep, or the expectations of your family, but the hotel only appears to people who need to get away. You may not know it yet, but you are trapped inside the hotel indefinitely. As a guest, you are concerned with investigating and provoking the anomalies, solving or ignoring your personal problems, pestering the staff, and finding a way to leave the hotel. Susan, please introduce us to your guest.
Hey y'all, my name is Anna Whitmore, and I am a foremost spiritual of the new country, as we call it. I am on vacation from my current job, just a little one. I did I mention that I was a spiritualist? I'm sorry. This accent has me forgetting every other word I'm saying beforehand. Um, so I am a spiritualist, and I after the last job, I just feel that I need to take a little rest. Um, the family that I was working with is not very happy about my services, which is deeply unfair, I must say. Um, so here I am at this fine establishment. I haven't been here for very long, just maybe a day, I think. Time seems a little strange here, doesn't it? Not quite sure what else I should say.
What do you miss most about where you're from?
Oh, well, when it was nighttime, when I thought it was nighttime, ready to go to sleep, um, I automatically went over to my window to feed Betsy. That's a neighborhood cat that I had started to think of as mine. She's probably the neighbor's, but she wasn't there. And then I remembered I wasn't at home. I was somewhere else. So I'm starting to miss her. Um, she's really sort of the only friend that I've seemed to have had these past few years.
Hmm. Well, maybe you'll make some more friends when you're here at the hotel. Let's find out. Ah, staff. You are a member of the staff at the Hotel California. Perhaps an elevator operator, a bartender, a maid, a handyman, or a front desk secretary. You serve the well-being and upkeep of the hotel first and foremost, and the guests second. Much like the guests, you may be from any place and time, and you are similarly prevented from leaving the hotel. You have been here a long time, and know much more about the hotel's quirks and oddities than you disclose to the guests. As staff, you are concerned with running the day-to-day operations of the hotel, keeping the guests happy, ignorant, and provided for, and preventing the anomalies from making trouble. Will, please introduce us to your staff member.
All right. I am playing Carlos Solano Cordova. He is the groundskeeper and handyman of the hotel. He is a late middle-aged Central American with a long-suffering expression. Um, his hands have tightened bolts and fixed shower curtains and trimmed hedges in the hotel for longer than he would care to speak. Um, he may have been here since it was founded. He doesn't talk too much about what it was like back then, or why he's come to stay, why he came, how he came to be here, or how he came to stay around. Um, Once when he was caught in an unguarded moment in the bar, he said, told them I would look after the place as long as the family held on to it. Place has a long memory, doesn't it? Somewhat overly greedy and literal memory. And here I am. Um, Not something that he would probably mention much about sober. Uh, he can be seen basically handling anything around the hotel. He notably, however, he asks for a spotter if he's going to be spending a significant amount of the day in the rose garden slash statuary garden. He's happy to sweep the cobblestone paths and trim the bushes and make sure that the statuary are washed and clean of bird droppings. But come golden hour, come sunset, he is out of there, and he won't come back until the morning choir. Um, in his downtime, when he's not actively meeting needs at the hotel, he will hole up in a nook near the boiler room. He will put on some Stravinsky on a pair of headphones, and he will zone out. And the Firebird suite is loud enough that it should be able to counteract the sounds of the boiler down there. In terms of face claim, I'm currently using Ati from Control, but I'll probably keep looking for more faces as I go looking.
Gotcha. And I am also playing a staff member, and my face claim is, of course, the wonderful and, incomparable Helen Mirren. Um, as an older, mature woman. Um, And she is, or I am, embodying one Madam Evelyn Walmsley, she, her, and her traits are empathetic, kind, and patient. Um, she'll never say how she came to the hotel. A sad little smile comes to her lips and she'll change the subject to something more pleasant. She'll only say that there are always ways to be in service here at the hotel. And then she will go anywhere, do little jobs to make sure that she can see to the comfort of the guests. However, she absolutely refuses to go alone or at night to the basement swimming pool area. If she must go down there or in that direction, she will always ask for company, whether overtly or she'll say, "Ah, wouldn't it be wonderful to take a stroll down this particular hall?" And in her occasional moments of leisure, she will make little sketches that she'll pin to the hotel bulletin board, sometimes daily, sometimes weekly. Um, and it just really depends on when she actually has some downtime or when the mood strikes. She is a petite woman with clear gray eyes that have a haunted look whenever she thinks no one is looking or if she's thinking on a particular memory. And hers is comfortable clothing of a bygone era. Uh, no corset, plain dress with pockets, and sturdy shoes. And we have anomalies here at the hotel. You are an anomaly, someone or something distinctly wrong that has manifested inside the hotel. You could be a doppelganger of one of the guests from another place and time, a ghost, an unholy amalgamate of missing staff members, a straight-up monster, a manifestation of the hotel itself, or some other deeply disturbing thing. Whatever you are not strictly supposed to be here. As an anomaly, you are concerned with scaring the guests, playing them against each other, and toying with them in any way you see fit. You are also concerned with avoiding the staff. Mack, please introduce us to your anomaly.
My anomaly's name is Malizi. Mal normally uses any and all pronouns. Uh, their traits are phantasmal, distorted, and uncanny. Um, the sights and smells and sounds that commonly herald her appearance. I don't know if every like I've been told not everyone can do this, but like when you're near running water, that slight smell of water, which is different than like smelling of rain and everything, but like running water, like a river or a creek, that's the smell that you get. Whenever Malizi is nearby, sound of like rustling clothing, like someone like walking quickly and just hearing the fabric rubbing together. Or you might see some dust motes floating around where you didn't see any not long before. All little things that are completely normal. Uh, the staff member who is not afraid of me is Carlos. He knows that I can't actually harm anything directly. And he seems to figure out that it's me a little faster than everyone else because I am ghostly, but also a little bit of a shapeshifter. So I like to be a little mischievous and pretend I'm someone else in the hotel. Um, it asks if you envy the guests or if you see them as your enemies. Mostly envy. I was human once, at least I think I was. Don't really remember now, but it would be really nice to be able to feel things.
When you say feel things, do you mean like like being able to touch, or you mean like feel things as an emotion.
Physically
Mm,
touch.
got it. Okay. All right. So, that is our denizens of the hotel as we are embodying them right now. And the hotel itself, of course, as I've said, is like a place that is set in any time, any place. So we are finding out what is here through these mini games that we are playing. Firebrands is based on, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Will, because I always get this name screwed up. Um, Mobile Zero Firebrands, game that was created by Meg and oh my God, the bakers basically. And it's like, a system that is again based on different mini games that are put together to evoke different mechanics or feelings or whatever is supposed to happen within each of the different games itself. And usually it's one person with their chosen partner, or you can play it by yourself, like if there's like a downtime for you while others are playing, or it could be everyone that plays and they are asked to fulfill certain prompts. All right, Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands. Thank you. And I've never played it actually myself. I've never played the original game. It's so funny. But yes, many games are based on that particular framework. So let's see. I have a tab specifically in the character keeper that is called Minigame TOC, which is the table of contents. So many tabs in here. So each one of them is like pretty much a designation of each mini game. And it kind of gives a small description of what's needed for each mini game and kind of like what it is, like what is required for it. In each of the scenes, each of the mini games is a song name. In the air tonight, is there something I should know? Hit me with your best shot. And you can kind of get a little idea of like what the scene is about from the subtitle. And there's no real order to this. However, there is the possibility, again, because this is surreal horror, there is the possibility of breaking out of the hotel, escaping, and getting out. Or character death could also be involved. So you can play these mini games, as many times as you like, with different combinations of different characters and such. And then this is also including the 2 different supplements from the game that expands the play with different other mini games. The From Such a Lovely Place supplement, as well as Heaven or Hell supplement. No problem. And so let's see, what do we got here? Getting killed is a very likely possibility because of the surreal horror nature of this game, okay? So we all know it's likely coming, but your character may be likely killed during the course of play. If this happens, you may create and introduce a new character. Continue play as an already established NPC, if your character is a guest or staff member. Continue play as an undead anomaly. You can also keep playing without a character, asking and answering questions for each group participation game. Okay, so there's many different choices just in case something happens with character death. If we want to end play with just the original game itself, then we have 2 options. We can attempt to escape the hotel for good, or leave the characters living in the hotel indefinitely. So for the latter, if we want to leave the characters living in the hotel indefinitely, we can bring up any unresolved questions that we have about our characters, say what we think possible outcomes might be, and we let other players contribute other possible outcomes as well. And you may choose to revisit the same characters on another playthrough, I mean, since we're doing this as a series, I mean, we can, again, weave the different mini games in and out as much as we want, because there's no real timeline per se, so we can make kind of like flashback to one, like, go forward in another mini game, or, come back to a different mini game if it makes sense in the story, right? If we want to end play by revolting against the hotel, you can proceed to the final game of the original game itself, burning down the house. And since there's also the option of the Heaven or Hell supplement, there's also character retirement. What this gives us is 2 different games. I Just Died in Your Arms, which has character death inside the hotel as a certainty, or Separate Ways, which allows you to attempt to escape the hotel alone. So there's different options if we want to get to that point, like towards the end of, like we see an end game to this for your character or for the series itself. Okay, so, just something to think upon in terms of doing this. And let me see, there was one other thing that I wanted to bring up. We'll be doing some of the more starter games for tonight. But I will say, like, as we go further along and perhaps create more threads between our characters or discover things in the hotel that we may want to explore, I have a separate Miro board that I created for some of the games that give more of an investigative flavor to the series. So there may be things that I post on the hotel bulletin board from Madame Walmsley's sketches, or you can post things on there, like if you want to just put up random flyers or notes to other guests, to the other series guests if you want. I don't care. I mean, just random things. And then there's also like a part where you can kind of be archivists, like outside of your own characters within the series, to kind of like say, like, here's our research on the hotel and its origins, like let's start trying to piece this stuff together. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm like, I have also created a Discord, but I'm not sure like how much I want to introduce that into the mix as well. It's like, we'll start with the Miro board first, as a shared thing, as well as this character keeper is also going to be shared. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. And then the last aspect of it is the exploration of rooms. There is one mini game that has a literal map where you go from room to room and describe things that you might find in there, or a prompt that you can respond to. And it would be interesting to see, depending on what you find in the randomization of exploring the rooms, like if your findings overlap with the other groups. I don't know. I mean, who knows? So we'll see. And that the text for those games are directly on the Miro board itself. It's like, it was just way too much to try to fit into the character keeper. So I just wanted to bring that up. All right. So I think that was everything I wanted to mention. So the options for ending play, possibly getting killed, the table of contents for all the games, the different games that we can play, as a group, like individually or with different partners and such. We would go in turns, take turns choosing which of these games that you want to play. So for instance, I would start, and we would go from me, like pretty much to the right and then back to the left. So it would be me, then Mack would pick, then Susan, and then Will. Okay. So I would pick out, just as an example, I would pick out In the Air Tonight to start us off. So this way you get an idea of like how a mini game would go. And then we would play as a group, like for all the different things that we could pick. And then Mack would pick one of these mini games, and then we would play it and then so on and so forth. So, and I'm marking off the, like, who's choosing it and who's involved in the minigame table of contents, just so we can track how many times that we do a particular game, and if we've missed a game or something like that. We don't necessarily have to do all the games, because maybe it doesn't necessarily fit. Like, maybe you don't feel like playing billiards or something like that, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to necessarily, but this way at least we can see which games are really popular or which games we still have to do, right? So, and if we do flip over to the Miro board, the link, if you want to take a look at the Miro board ahead of time, the Miro board link is at the very bottom of the table of contents tab. Okay. And with all that information, I'm so sorry. Any questions on that word salad that I just said? All right. I have one more thing to read off, and this is directly from the game itself. And then we will start. All right. So, welcome to the Hotel California, the world's only hotel completely removed from time and space. We are proud to host guests of all time periods and alternate dimensions, manifesting whatever desperate and weary travelers need us most. No matter who you are, or where or when you're from, your room will be ready just as soon as you step in the door. Please do not be alarmed if your room suddenly shifts floors or several doors to the left. This is simply the hotel rearranging itself to create more vacancies. Our rates are flexible, so please pay as much as you can afford. Our amenities include an outdoor courtyard and pool, an indoor gym and day spa, a ballroom for conferences, an arcade and billiards room, several restaurants, the boiler room, the room with blood-covered walls, the library, a parlor and billiards room, an in-house drugstore, the famous McKitty murder room, an indoor croquet court, a presidential suite, a sports bar and billiards room, vending machines and ice machines. Please note that the outdoor courtyard and pool are closed until further notice. All doors to the outdoor courtyard and pool have been locked indefinitely. Please notify the staff if the doors to the outdoor courtyard and pool are breached. Our staff pride themselves on being on call 24/7. If you find something not to your liking, please feel free to ring the night manager at the front desk, and they will try their best to accommodate you. Please note that we will not be accepting any further calls inquiring as to the whereabouts of the day manager. The investigation is ongoing, and we have no more information to release at this time. The Hotel California is newly renovated for the 2020 season, hoping to address recent reviews of the establishment as being haunted and sincerely uncomfortable to pass the time in. While we cannot comment on the veracity of these reviews, we have removed wireless internet and cell phone service from hotel grounds to help our guests appreciate the amenities here even more than before. If you have constructive criticism, make sure to fill out a feedback slip at the front desk. Please enjoy your indefinite stay at the Hotel California. What's that? A checkout time? Well, you're free to check out whenever you'd like. Whether the hotel chooses to let you leave, however, well, that's a different matter entirely. And with that, we shall start In the Air Tonight, or A Strange Dream. All right. So set up. Play by yourself, quietly, or together as a group. So again, this can be something that we play multiple times, but we choose what sort of dream you've been having from the prompts below and what happened in it. Choose freely. If playing as a group, proceed clockwise around the table and describe your dreams. I mean, it's pretty much like, whomever comes up with your dream first. That's fine. And ending the dream, if playing as a group, the game ends once everyone has described their dreams. Because of your most recent dream, there's something about you, some detail of your mood, appearance, goals, or actions that everyone might notice. Decide what that detail is and announce it to the table. So this is something that you can put into your notes, okay? The notes section of the character sheet, all right? So pick one of those dream prompts, and then once you have your dream, then go ahead and narrate it to the table, yeah.
All right. I'm touching on an ask first on mine. Harm to animals. Are people okay with the depiction of a dead bird?
Yes.
Okay.
Think
Okay,
I
Queen,
have mine.
go
Oh,
for it.
uh, I like the you've been having a recurring dream lately. Um, and it's changing very slightly night after night. And I think the thing about that dream is that the fact that it keeps changing is messing with Malizi a little bit. And when things change more than he was expecting, he's a little grumpy the next day.
Who does Malizi interact with to note the slight or possibly increasing grumpiness?
I think that Malizi interacts with a little bit of everyone. I say Miss Whitmore is new, so probably not her just yet, but I imagine at some point. But because Malizzi knows that Carlos always figures out who he is, regardless of which face she has on, I think that Malizzi would probably bother Carlos with it.
What do you expect Carlos to be able to do about it? Carlos is not in charge of your dreams.
No. Uh, I don't, it's not that Malizzi thinks that you can do anything about it. I think that you're just the one that real like eventually figure out the pattern of like, oh, your dreams must have changed again because you're extra ornery today for some reason, like that kind of thing.
Does it seem to be processing towards something? Like the dream seems to be sort of evolving into a particular direction, or is it just sort of like brownie in motion?
I think the thing that it makes Malizzi grumpy is the fact that like it doesn't seem to have a rhyme or reason. Like sometimes, so like for example, uh she'll be in a library and she'll have been in this library before. She is always goes to this specific bookcase in the library and finds a very specific book that's very, very pretty book out and starts to read it. Except for last night, instead of reading the book, she threw it across the room for no apparent reason. And things like that where like it's just like just a slight difference there, but then maybe in a couple weeks she starts to go into the library and then just decides to turn back around and go to the pool instead. Like it starts off the same every time, but and most of the time it is close, but every once in a while it just it throws a monkey wrench in.
I think that I've been dreaming about the hotel lately. And I think it's been trying to tell me something important. I am going about my duties, making sure that towels are filled, they're clean, and flowers are refreshed, and the orders are given to the kitchen. And I'm going down a hallway. I'm inside. But then it gets dark. I look to the windows. But it's not the windows that are getting dark. It's not outside. It's inside. And I start to feel drops hitting my cheek. And I realize it's rain. And I feel it storming, and my hair is damp and then wet. And the wind, my apron gets wet, my dress gets soaked, and I try to find shelter in one of the rooms, but the rooms are locked, the doors are locked, and I try to find shelter anywhere, and I try to call out, and there's no one there. And then when I try to run to where I think the front desk is, because I don't understand where I am, when I get to the front desk, everything's fine. There is no rain. There is no storm. And I am dry. I am comfortable. And I have finished my duties. And the bell rings. And it is time for the new day. I think there's something important about this, but I don't know what it means.
If I may be so bold, madam, I think I might know what it means.
What do you think it means, child?
In my line of work, ma'am, it sounds like you've got a curse on you. It's all right, though. I'm here, and I can help you.
How can you possibly help with such a thing?
Oh, I've been dealing with curses my whole life. Here, and I will pull out like a full-on handful of charms from this shawl that I tend to wear on me. It's very fashionable and warm. But my dress has a bunch of pockets, and the shawl kind of covers them up.
I immediately get that scene from The Mummy with Benny like holding up all the charms. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'll hold them out to you. Which one speaks to you?
I'm sorry. It, yeah, you. I don't think. What am I to do once I pick what speaks to me?
You're to put it underneath your pillow and leave it there. Make sure you drink a full glass of water before you go to bed at night. And uh, do you happen to have your bed by a windowsill?
Uh, no windows.
Excellent, fantastic. You won't have to cover it up then. Just make sure that's under your pillow. Have a nice glass of water, and um you should have better dreams from here on out with that protective charm on you.
I see. Hmm. And what would you like for this uh particular gift?
Oh, madam, I would never charge someone for helping them out with something like this. Oh, no, no, you misunderstand me. Sh- No, you just take this and we'll just call it a favor between friends. for now.
Oh, it's definitely a pretty scarf for sure. Don't worry, madam. If the wind takes it walking, I'll be sure to bring it back to you.
Thank you.
Yes, I thank you. I appreciate that. I can only hope that this is not something that will will recur. Or at least not like that. It seemed so real. Hmm.
And then she'll just kind of like look at it, and yeah, she'll carry it along with her. And what she doesn't say, um, and what she doesn't say to you, but she kind of like mulls over, is that the charm that she picked out almost seems to, it's like, it looks like it's a broken piece of something, like a wing or something like that. Like I don't know where you got it, but I mean, like it looks like it's a broken piece that's just like attached to a cord or something. And she has it. She has the other side of it, and it's hidden underneath her blouse. And she won't say anything to anybody, but like, she'll take it into her room, and yeah, she'll piece it together. So she will probably be a little bit more relieved, I think. That will be noticeable. Like it she won't be as necessarily haunted, but she'll be a little bit more relieved. Who's next?
So I dreamed I was at a staff dinner, a dinner in honor of the hotel staff, and it was quite a spread with silver chafing dishes and the fine china, and it was in the ballroom with the long tables laid out, and a lot of faces there, some of which I remember, some of which I don't. And faces that I'm pretty sure look different, people who I'm pretty sure look different when they were part of the staff members. And but you know how dreams go, where the brain will tack a name onto a face and you'll know it's that person. My course laid out in front of me was this pile of twigs and sticks and leaves all arranged in an overflowing tangle. And it was surprisingly edible. It shouldn't have been. I was compelled to eat it, and it tasted like stale bread. But I was picking my way through it, maybe not as quickly as it was expected. And I heard a voice from the other side of the table that said, "Eat up." And I look over and it's a little girl, maybe 13, 14. She's sitting with an empty plate in front of her, and she's not looking at me, she's looking down at her hands, and she's holding this dead sparrow in her hands. The sparrow's looking at me, and it says, "Finish what you started. I'm gonna need a lot more material if I'm gonna nest here." And yeah, I don't remember the rest.
What do we notice?
Carlos is drinking a lot of water today. Like he can still taste whatever it was, and he's just trying to wash that taste out of his mouth.
I think Madame Walmsley will come up to you, Carlos, and
Are you all right, Mr. Cordova? It seems to be an inordinate amount of uh, uh, hydration you're having.
The Continental, I think a pastry might not have agreed with me this morning. Anyway, it's at least it's a dry heat out. And then he gives a long breath. He gives a long breath out, and then there's a pause. He knows you're not going to accept that as an answer. It's just pablum.
Is there anything
This
I can
place
do?
has a this place has a long memory, doesn't it?
Yes.
Seems to hold on to its promises.
Promises to who is always something you have to wonder about.
Is there anything that you hmm hold off on that? That might be overly forward of Carlos. Uh
she will ask you. It's like,
Is there anything I can do to help? Do you do you need
hmm.
a soothing syrup or some kind of porridge?
If the water doesn't do, I might need something a little bit stronger. You could see if the bartender see if there's something the bartender might be able to slip my way.
I will check with Gina and see if there's something that she can provide. Um, I might have something in my stores that I can mix and relieve your stomach.
Hmm.
totally
Seems to be more
misunderstanding what's going on with you, but I mean, like, she's going to try to help anyway.
sure.
And yes, the bartender's name is Gina, and she's uh, visually impaired to blind, depending.
How tolerant is Gina of the staff swiping her stores?
I mean, she is one of the staff, of course. Um, just trying to think of how well she puts up with the concierge Lane who has disappeared. And there is another anomaly about called the man behind the mirror, who she does not tolerate. um, so staff wise, I mean, like, I think she's okay with us, with the other staff, of course. So I mean, I think so long as we don't abuse her goodwill, I think she's fine, because she knows, even though she's visually impaired, she can tell by weight and how it feels, how the bottles feel, like if we're taking too much. So
I guess my dream is the last. I have been dreaming about my past lately and fondly remembering an old accomplishment. The dream, uh, it's it's a real crowded street. Um, and it's hot. And when it gets hot, people get mean. And I'm picking my way through the crowd because I can hear my older brother, Jonathan. And I can hear him at work, and I want to get to where he is to help him. And I finally find him. He's cornered a family, well, like a mom, and she's pushing a stroller, and there's a kid in it, and then there's another kid, and there's a nanny, rich folks. And he's trying to sell the I can sense negative energy around your family. Um, but he's not doing a great job, and that nanny is telling him off. And I feel this weight behind me. It's the crowd of people on the street, but it feels heavier than that. Something pushing at me from behind. And so I run forward and I go up to the mama who has that baby in that stroller. And I put my hand out onto the stroller and I said, "Ma'am, I know this sounds silly, but that darkness that my brother sees, it's not around your family. It's around your little one." And I get her mighty scared. And I pull that same little trick where I pull out a bunch of I wasn't that good at charms at the time, so there's a lot of like needle and thread little charms and things, but they're all like crucifixes and stars and things, all like those symbols that fancy people like. And I have the baby pick one out. It picks out two of them, which is perfect. And uh the mom, well, moms. I mean, I guess I don't, but moms who they just want to keep their kids safe. So she gives me the coin and hangs the charms on the little umbrella part of the stroller, and off they go. And uh my brother's comes up behind me and he says something, and it's, you know, he's being a big brother. And I turn around to tease him, and he's standing there and he's smiling at me. Because I just got us dinner. And uh I make that teasing remark, and then it's not my brother anymore. It's my daddy. And he's smiling at me. And then I wake up. It's real nice. Haven't thought about that man in a long time.
What are what does anyone notice about Anna? Are you happier, or are you like, is there a different feeling that follows you out of the dream that we notice?
Anna is on her description, I put she's solitary.
Hmm.
And so I think that after that dream, and maybe she has it a couple of times, it's the same, it doesn't change. Um, I think that she goes out of her way to be a little more interactive with the people in the house. Like maybe she'll actually take time to stop and have a conversation with Gina. Um, or if she almost runs into Madame Walmsley in the hallway, it's not just a "I'm sorry" and she keeps walking, but she'll actually be like, "Oh," and like have a conversation with you. Not quite so solitary.
You seem to be settling in, dear. I hope you're enjoying your stay.
I most certainly am. This place is, and I will look around her almost like she thinks it might be listening. This place is very different from anywhere I have ever been. Um, yes, I suppose I'm getting used to it.
You be sure and try everything that the hotel has to offer.
Will. I will.
And she'll go on with her duties, giving you a smile. All right. So And that closes out that particular mini game. And it is Mac who will pick out the next game for us.
I think that who can it be now?
Mm,
Conversation through a door sounds like a fun one.
okay. Who can it be now? Who's your chosen partner or partners? I think it is only one
Hmm.
partner, though.
Yeah, it's supposed to be just one.
Okay. Can it be now? Okay.
Let's go with Anna.
Ooh.
Um, all right, so we have to decide who is locked in the room and who is outside.
I think this would be a neat scene for maybe the first time I've ever met you, because I think I might have been a little scared.
There's nothing to be scared of.
Mm, that's what someone would say that is scary.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, I suppose so, but I'm not scary.
All right.
Remains
So
to
you'd,
be
so you'd answer those two questions, like, for each other. Like, what do you know about each other and what do you want from each other?
So I don't think we know much about each other, given the
Mhm.
the setup that you gave there. What do we want from each other? Malizi just wants to mess with you. You're new, so you're interesting. They haven't had a
Uh-huh.
chance to mess with you yet. So,
What do I know about you? I know that you are nothing that I've ever seen before. That is what I know. My The world has cracked open and things are not right here because you are here. And what do I want from you? I want, I think I want you to somehow make a promise to me that I'm safe.
Ooh. Oh God. I love that laugh. But wait. Were you like, did you spot Malizi? Like, and that's what, like, brought you into this particular room. I mean, you can mention whatever room it is. It doesn't have to be yours. I mean, it could be something else. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, did you spot and, like, did you get creeped out by spotting Malizi?
You said, oh, you being Mac. Mac, you said that you seem to be normal, but upon closer inspection, there is like something wrong that people can catch.
hmm
So uh I think that I was having a stroll through this place, probably trying to find a room to entertain me, and I ran into you, and maybe you started talking to me, you started following me, you started talking to me, and I thought everything was fine until I realized it wasn't. And then I tried to make a polite getaway, and you followed me? Are you okay with that? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that Malizi looks like Madam Walmsley at the moment, but uh the hair is a bit off. Like there's just like it's not as neat and tidy as her hair normally is. And I think the shade is a little off too. I think it's just a little brighter than it should be.
Basically, if AI made Madame Walmsley.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's what Malizi does in general. It's like
Yeah.
it's like if AI made insert person here.
Hmm.
Uh
She goes to scratch her nose and there's like too many fingers.
Yes. Oh my
or
God.
yeah, or I don't know if you've ever seen the Doctor Who episode where they talk about it's the arms. It's always the arms. There's
Yeah.
shapeshifters that like they can't figure out how to do arms correctly, so
Yeah.
they're too long or too
Oh.
small or have too many
Oh.
Uh-huh.
joints or
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Amazing. All right.
Malizi, is this intentional? Are you deliberately giving tells to Anna to clue her into the fact that there's something weird about you, or is this just, something you overlooked?
So I think that just the general appearance of like just being, hair not being quite as tidy and the hair being a little too bright is not intentional. Malizi tries very hard to be the person that she's being at that time. Um, but
Oh.
inevitably she gets distracted at some point and it's a little off, or eventually when the person is comfortable with him, he'll change something just a little bit and see if they notice.
Amazing. Okay. So the person inside the room begins the conversation. And first you say why you distrust the person on the outside and what you're most afraid might happen. Sorry.
Listen, there is a thing that is not Madame Walmsley, and I have read my fair share of penny dreadfuls, or whatever the American equivalent is of a penny dreadful. Okay? So I am not gonna get got here on vacation.
Why, whatever do you mean, dear? I I don't understand why you're it we've been talking all morning.
Yes, we have. And thank you for the polite and entertaining conversation. But I am scared.
Oh, I certainly don't want you to be frightened. That's not how we want anyone to be in this hotel. We want this to be a pleasurable experience, of course. What can I do to help? What can I do to make you feel more at ease?
Would you answer some uh maybe private questions?
Well, I think that depends on how personal you try to get. Haven't known each other very long.
Well, we've known each other all morning. At least I thought I knew you, but what? Okay, let's start with an easy one. What is your real name?
I am Madame Walmsley, of course, dear.
I think there is like the equivalent of someone like banging their fist on the door. You can like hear the door kind of shake. Incorrect. Off to a fantastic start.
I think Malizi's visage of Madame Walmsley uh gets gets a gets a little blurry for a second and then like rights itself after the loud noise. Just kind of
I feel like the hotel, like, because again, different time and space and all this kind of stuff, I think you do have access to a peephole, Anna. So, I mean, I can only imagine what you see through the peephole. Sorry.
no, I think that's definitely a good one of like just happen to see that and like it's hard to tell, it's through a peephole that's you got that weird fisheye thing going on, like, maybe something is just a little fuzzy, maybe it needs cleaned or something, but something looked odd for a second there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the person inside the room leads the other player through a series of 4 of those challenges. During the conversation, each player will gain coins representing the influence you have on each other. So, yeah, use the witch dice and then, track. I'll create a thing like, where you can include, like, who gets what. Um, yeah, so go ahead. Go ahead, Anna, and pick which challenge you want to offer Malizi first.
Well, you physically pursued me here, and I suspect you mean to attack me.
All right, so heads or tails. So let
Right.
me roll a d2. And I got a 2, so I'm assuming that's gonna be, I think heads should be 1. So that'll be a tails. So uh I I would never attack you, dear. That's not something that I would do. I can't imagine why you you, you were far too strong. You're a much younger lady than I. And so it says, I don't think I can take you, and I gain a coin. Uh, does she lead through all of the challenges?
We had a question about that for the other group, so that depends. I mean, like, how do you interpret that? Like, leading the player through the other series of 4 challenges. Do you think it's always the person inside the room, or do you think it's alternating between the two? Because we've played it both ways, and it's like, I don't know how this works, So just track how you think it goes. I'm okay with either because you just have to go through 4 of those challenges either
Hmm.
way. Like, so back and forth 4, or Anna offers up 4 challenges altogether, So
That linguistically, that makes sense to me. If the person in the room begins,
okay.
and then the next line is lead the other player. So, yeah, linguistically, it reads to me as I'm the one that picks all 4 of them because I'm inside the room.
Okay.
Is
It's
that
fine.
okay, Mac?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Cool.
Okay.
All
It
right. So go
fits
ahead.
fits the vibe fits the vibe of the minigame too.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
Um, I'm just gonna do this so I remember.
I think Carlos is repairing a faucet like 7 or 9 doors down and just occasionally pokes his head out to see, yep, Malizi's still at the door. Okay, I'll just see how this goes.
My gosh, that's great. That's so good.
So fun. Oh my gosh. Bang bang. And meanwhile, it's like Madam Walmsley's like, just stacking towels somewhere.
I love the idea of like at some point Madam Walmsley like walking down the hall and like seeing Mal and just like like
Yeah,
walking
exactly.
away.
That's exactly it. She's gonna like be holding like a bunch of like flowers or something like impractically perfect in no way. Anyway, go ahead. Next challenge.
Next challenge. We were off to such a great start. Uh, Madam, I guess. I already admitted that you frighten me. Uh, can you, if you can turn into anyone or anything, that's, can you not understand why I'd be afraid of you? So your power or appearance frightens me.
All right, let's see. Let's uh do I roll the dice again for this or do we?
Oh, that's what I thought. Like I'm picking them, but you're rolling.
Yeah,
Is
that
that
yeah, I think that makes sense.
okay?
Um, how do I make this go down? No, I did that wrong. Ignore the witch dice at the moment. All right, 1 heads. All right, so I do try to put you at ease with this. So I think you may misunderstand me. If you've noticed, no one else seems to be frightened of me. If anything else, it's a fun little game. You like games, don't you?
Ooh.
If it helps, and Mal will No, that's not going to help. Sorry, that would be better to worry you further, not actually what I want to do. I think Mal will say, if it helps, and then like takes a second and like the lines get a little more crisp, like actually it looks a little bit more clear than it did before. So looks a little closer to actually Madame Walmsley now than Mal did a second before. And it's clear that like it's a concentration thing that like they're focusing on this.
So I think that line, you like games, don't you? I think that reminded me of just something in my past. So I'm gonna pick, you remind me of someone from my past that I still distrust. So go ahead and roll for me, please.
Yeah, and I think you got a coin for that last one. So I
Oh, that's
updated
right.
I updated our keeper here.
Thank you.
One again. Let's see. Renders the comparison moot. All right.
Oh,
So,
I didn't. Here, let me give you
yep.
something to work with. I do like games, and I have learned how to be very good at them. I've had lots of friends in my past to teach me how to be a player and how to be a winner.
Hmm. I don't necessarily play games to win or to lose. I just enjoy the game. I,
Okay, okay. So
winning's
that's
not
not
important.
that's not Anna, that's me.
Winning's not important. It's the fun of the game.
I will admit I haven't had a whole lot of time for fun recently.
Aren't you here on holiday? We should change that. We should play some games.
So I'm gonna pick, as my last one, I'm gonna pick, I have strong feelings for you, and I make them known. Yeah, me
Good or
too.
bad.
Um,
Uh, I got a heads again.
woo, right. Uh, there's a click of the lock. The door does not open, but the lock does unclick itself. Um, and if there was like a camera that could go like in between so you could see on both sides of the door, right? Anna would just kind of be leaning up against the door with her back to it, kind of looking up at the ceiling of this room. Heavy sigh. I am on holiday, and it's been a long time since I did something fun, and not just to make sure I had something to eat at the end of the day. How about this? You seem to be looking for a friend. Is that right?
Oh, always.
I don't really know how to be a friend, but you can look like anything or anyone. Is that right?
Yes. And they sound grumpy about it of
Yes.
like yeah, that's my thing. Like is you can hear like them just being a little grumpy about it.
And I think
Anyway,
with that, oh, you want to say one more
and
thing?
have to have seen them.
Yeah. think with that admittance, the door will crack open like a little bit. There's like an eyeball, you know.
I think
I'll play games with you if you'll be honest with me.
Malizi, as soon as Mal can like see you a little bit, that little like crack through the door, like uh he mirrors it. So like it looks like you looking back at you. I don't know how. What do you mean be honest with you? This is me.
Hmm. We got a lot of work to do. And I think the door goes all the way open and uh I'll step out into the hallway with my hands on my hips and look you up and down and go, I guess that's not as weird as I thought it'd be.
So when you're first opening the door, because Malizi was Madame Walmsley originally, um, it, she just shifted her face like to be yours. And then when you open the door, so it's like it's your face on Madame Walmsley's body, like in the clothing that she's wearing and everything. And as soon as you're like actually fully you and hand on hips, like they immediately mirror it. So now it's just like looking in a mirror. It's a little off, but it's pretty close to being looking in a mirror. Like same expression on the face, same like hands on the hips, clothes, everything. Sorry, I
I,
forgot what you said before I said that. I got distracted.
oh, I said, uh, I'll play games with you if you're honest with me. And you said, I don't get it. This is me. And I said, we've got a lot of work to do. And then I stepped out. Um, which I'm just now realizing I was supposed to find an alternative way out of the room.
Well,
This counts, right?
well, I mean, right. I mean, this is basically the buildup of the coins was to decide of like what kind of outcome there was supposed to be depending on the amount of coins. But you know what? I liked your ending better. I don't care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't
it's
think the
fine.
coins matter so
No,
much for like,
no.
yeah.
I think how you guys ended it was pretty satisfactory. So I'm cool with it. Oh my god, amazing. Are they friends now?
Mal thinks so, but Mal's also gonna fuck with her because that's what Mal does, so.
Yes. Yes. What does friends mean? I don't know. Okay, great. Okay. Oh my god, amazing. Um, and it comes around to your turn. It comes around to your turn, Susan, to pick a game.
Oh, no, it can't be my turn. I haven't looked at any of the games.
While she's looking through stuff, I wanted to tell you guys the reason why I picked the name I did is Malizio, or Milizia rather, is Italian for mischief.
Nice. I figured Mal is
On
just yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love a good mystery. Can I do an investigation?
Sure. Let's see. So which one of the ones that you wanted to look at?
Um, no, that's the. Oh, no, I don't want to punch anybody. At least not right now.
Is there something I should know?
You can try to
Yes,
punch Mal, it's not gonna work.
Hmm.
I'll punch you in the feelings.
In Firebrands, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do is there something I should know?
Okay. So, yeah, you would have a chosen partner, and then you would uh mm, mm.
Well, it's gotta be Will. It's gotta be. Um,
The
decide which
handyman.
part of the hotel.
Yeah. Yep,
What
go for it.
part of the hotel do you want to be in?
It depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for something that's misplaced, or are you trying to track down some kind of mysterious thing that you thought you saw or heard?
Or like figure out like what the hell Mal is, you know, like if Carlos knows anything about Mal.
I like that.
You may or may not actually know my name yet.
No,
But
yeah,
Yeah,
because
let's say
The
Carlos would.
yeah,
double.
Carlos. Yeah, Carlos knows my name, but yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I've just been yeah, I haven't
I
given you my name yet.
But since
no,
Carlos has like been around like the hotel a lot and been here for quite some time, I mean like, you know, if you describe what's been going on or what happened to you, maybe Carlos can give you a hint or a clue.
yes.
Mal, is there a public room in the hotel that you are often frequenting?
Library.
Library? All right.
Library.
Would Mal consider it an invasion of privacy for Carlos to bring Anna there?
The library's big.
Is yeah, library's big. No.
Mhm. Okay. So I think if
But just to butt in, like you know, for half a mo, uh, because this is a liminal place, and we can bring in things from other places. And since there was a cameo from a completely different game last night in one of the other series, I'm going to say that Will, you see the parasitic library here.
oh no. Oh no. Does Carlos have any rubric to understand what it is he's looking at here, or is it just, wow, this place seems to be overly baroque overly baroque this season?
No, I mean, like, it basically, it's like, it's probably changeable to Carlos, like, you know, when he comes in and like, you know, fixes things or checks things out and makes sure, like, maintains it and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, like, you know, for you, it's the parasitic library. I mean, and I know that you're familiar with it too, Susan, but I mean, like, yeah, for you, it's the parasitic library. For Carlos, it's just, well, damn, it changed itself again. So,
It's really feeling itself today.
sure.
And I think Carlos will mutter him something to himself, and then say sidelong to Anna. Room's a bit feisty today. Let's not get lost. And refuses to elaborate.
But but she like with her boot, she kind of pokes at a rug. How can a room be feisty?
When houses tend to houses tend to absorb the character of the people who have lived in them and passed through them, and this house has seen more people than most.
Ah, yes. I understand. I'm a spiritualist, I understand. The auras we bring into spaces really fill the rooms.
Why, I'm sure this place will be positively yelling at you if you choose to listen, Madam Whitmore.
The the questions that are in italics, we need to answer those like we did the other ones. Okay, okay. So what stakes do I have in the case?
Just making the comment that I love how the parasitic library is the first thing encountered in Apocalypse Keys. It's just a wonderful thing. Uh,
Oh yeah.
My stakes are that that something my stakes are that Anna or Malizi will be significantly harmed physically or emotionally by this investigation. I'm trying to avoid this. I'm basically Anna's spotter. I'm trying to make sure that she doesn't poke somewhere that injures either one of them. I am also curious what's up with Malizi because you know he keeps his cards close to her chest. But I don't feel like that should come at the expense of either of their well-beings. Um, what am I hiding from Anna? I know Malizi's name. I probably know some of the surface stuff that we might find out in the investigation already. And I'm trying to like walk the line between respecting Malizi's privacy in this case and enabling Anna. Because, she's going to be with us for a long time. She's going to need to become acclimated with the hotel anyway.
No, I'm just on vacation. What stakes do I have in this case? Well, I have just befriended uh what I think is a monster. You know, some kind of monster thing. Um, I'm pretty much gonna go as far as I can go. I mean, I don't want to get harmed. I guess I'll stop at like my safety, but uh I've befriended this person, this thing, and I'd like to know more so I can stay safe. Um, and so that I don't like make it mad and it one like eats me in the middle of the night or something. I don't know. Um, what am I hiding? Uh, if if there are things out there like my friend, um, if this is all like real, which I'm starting to really believe it is, I've spent my life helping people with their spiritual and mental afflictions and helping them talk to loved ones from beyond and making peace with things. And what if some of that, what I thought was nonsense, isn't actually nonsense? That's a whole lot on my conscience and my family's. But this is just way too much to unload onto Senor Cordova. So I'm just going to keep that to myself. Conducting the investigation.
All right.
Take turns clockwise around the table.
Have we roped Madame Walmsley into this at some point, or does maybe she shows up at some point with a steel chair if needed?
I would love Madame Walmsley to be there.
Okay.
But it said just pick one partner. So
But I mean,
she's
other
gonna
players may join freely if it makes sense for their characters to be there. So I don't have to be there, like, you know, uh, until later. But I mean, like, if you two are conducting the investigation, then, like, go ahead and, like, just kind of pose, like, an investigative question to each other. And then, like, do your coin flips and then, like, just track like what your results are, because then that makes the difference of what the answer will be. And then yeah, and then you also have to track how many coins have come up heads, because that determines what the answer is for the case. So blah, blah, blah. And then yeah, it's got to be five questions across the people that's involved. Okay.
I'll let you take the first stab then.
Yep. And I can play NPCs that kind of wander in or something like that. So if you want to question a witness, then,
Can I start with I speak with a staff member who has deep ties to the mystery I'm investigating and just like kick it off with I've come to Carlos
yeah,
because okay.
definitely.
All right.
What's the flip?
Oof. Okay, it's a tails on this one.
Big unhelpful or something you're hoping against.
I have some
Sorry.
I have some suspicions. suspicions, but I'm afraid that I'm afraid that your double has been around for long enough that there are a number of explanations for their origin. It's and then I think I run through a few possible guests that Malizi could have been in the past that had left a strong mark on the hotel. Like there's a like a night lounge singer and a prominent architect, and none of these people have any connection to Malizi. It's like just complete spaghetti on the wall. Um, but and the hotel remembers them all. I'm sure you'll find their photos or pictures of them or candid moments captured on photo someplace in this library or maybe elsewhere in the ballroom or in the main lounge. Maybe if any of them look familiar, if you can see a something in the eyes or something in the nose that reminds you of your double, maybe that will give us a clue. Unfortunately, it's all very much snow. Like I've given you three or four red herrings to consider.
Very informative. Thank you.
Wonder when your photo's going to show up. And where?
It,
Is there a place you've been frequenting?
Mostly my room.
Hmm. It's typically a public location. Anywhere you're taking a turn, you might look out for yourself. And not in the double sense.
I already have to do that.
I noticed there's a receptionist in this library whom I don't recognize. And they look somewhat eldritch. They look like they're of a piece with this new expanded space. So I wandered up to them and I say, "Excuse me, sir or madam, we're looking for a friend of ours who's been frequenting this room. Uh, how can would you be able to walk us through the visitor log of who's been visiting the library recently?"
This is a library, of course. They don't normally sign in.
Hmm.
I
But
mean,
but perhaps they have assembled a hold list or have been checking out books.
of course, of course. And they, if you look here, and they'll turn, and then you see what looks like one of those very old card catalog cabinets behind them. They, like, open a drawer, and the drawer immediately stretches out beyond the counter of the desk. Yeah, this is the drawer of those that have put holds on books or have taken out recent charges. Would you like to look at the...
Funny, I'm not recognizing any of the names in here.
Oh, well,
Carlos is feeling a little bit in over his head at this point.
because, of course, it's because from all times and all places. It's not just here.
Hmm. So you're saying the library is on loan?
Of course, of course. We cater to all those that come and go, just like the hotel. Can't expect
Hmm.
us to just be stationary, what are we?
So long as we can find our way back to our rooms. And I give the receptionist a level stare for a moment, and then I go back to looking through the card catalog. Mads, how about you flip this one?
Okay. Uh, Heads. All right. Beneficial. So, what am I answering? Let's see.
This
Um,
is I guess I'm asking the same question. the staff member being the receptionist versus the or it could be an anomaly who witnessed something important related to the mystery because the
This is pretty
receptionist
good.
of the parasitic library probably counts as an anomaly.
Oh yeah, yeah, for definite sure. Um, yeah, I mean, because basically they are very anomalous. You can't quite tell, like, whether they're, like what gender they are, and like their clothing is just like of all like different periods, like as they turn, like maybe it's like, of a modern suit, and then like when they turn again, like maybe it's like something from like the 1800s, and like, when they turn again, maybe it's something a little bit like earlier than that even. um and maybe it's a dress, that sort of thing. So yeah. uh Feeling generous with their time and information. Oh, well, are you looking for someone in particular? It's helpful to have all the information that you need to give specifics. I
If
am
there
a
is
librarian, of course.
if there is a use name that Malizi uses, Carlos might give it here. Like I don't know if anybody knows. Is Malizi Mal's actual name, or is that just the name that they go by?
As far as they know.
So that might be Carlos tipping his hand a little bit to Anna too. If we're looking up this double by name, then clearly Carlos knows something. But
You could always just like try to describe Malizi. That might be
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that would be the thing that you would that for the specific information that you could give the librarian. So,
the one who almost certainly looked like you while you were talking to them.
ah,
Mostly,
the
in
one
many of the ways that count.
the one that responds. Ah, and they have to see you to know how to change. Yes, there is a name for that one. Yes, they have visited quite often. I my surmise is that they come here to also get ideas. They have to see someone to be able to impersonate, to double, to doppelgang. So the more ideas they have, the more people they can become. Eh, have they impersonated you recently?
Oh, they've hardly tried in a while. I think they got bored.
Ah, ah,
But do you know where they might have gravitated to in this space?
yes. I usually see them lurking about that particular corner. But that's usually because that's where I was just from, shelving books. And they usually take on my aspect when I was there, just there. You're looking for Malizi, aren't you?
I That name sounds familiar.
Ah, let's see. And then like goes through that catalog that's already open, like, through the drawer, kind of like, stops at like through the halfway through the middle. Yes, here it is. And then like we'll hold out a card. They've taken out these books recently from that particular corner, and here is their, oh, signature's a bit indistinct. I think, ah, they signed it by their nickname. Mal.
Will that do for you, Ms. Whitmore?
It's your start.
I think the next question is yours.
Yes, that is perfect. I will take that book, and I will fixate my attention on one specific object in the room, trying to learn as much as I can from it. Um, oh, I get to roll something. Wait, do I?
Well, flip.
Oh,
Flip,
so
roll.
yeah.
If you got
I'm
a
gonna,
coin, yeah.
I don't, so I'm
Uh,
gonna roll a dice and
Okay.
the numbers are the things.
Malizi, can we put you on deck for the answer here?
Absolutely.
Please, yeah.
I rolled a which is heads. Yes.
Helpful.
On heads, their answer should be beneficial, informative, something we were hoping for.
I think the book that you're holding in your hands is one that has a lot of photographs of historical figures. Um, and also the book is a little weird because it's some of these seem like they are from a very long time ago, and some of these like it, I have no idea who that is, and they look a little more futuristic. Like it's the book's a little wonky, but it basically has like a picture and then like a little bit of a description of like these notable people throughout time essentially. And I think that you have probably seen one of those people as you're flipping through. You've probably seen one of them walking down the hallway, like on your way here.
Oh, I see.
I think that probably gives you a decent, like a little bit more understanding of like what Mal is.
Is there a
Uh,
pattern among the various figures in the book that jumps out at Anna in terms of like these are all kind of figures in a certain category or of a certain bearing, or the photographs have a certain amount of detail in them that is useful, or something that
Uh,
would have drawn Mal to this book?
I think this one in particular is military figures.
Ooh.
Um, but I think that the only difference is like it's you definitely saw one of these people, but they weren't in uniform, but it was definitely that was the person.
Hmm.
But all of the people in this book are like have you know like have you ever seen like the professional photos that that like they get when they are ranking up or something like when you go from like being an E2 to an E3, like there's like you get like
Mm-hmm.
there's like a little professional photo they do for you. It's like
Yes.
which is very like stoic faced, but it's very
Yes.
clear. And
Look, they moved
those are
me
the
up.
pictures. Yeah, those are the pictures that you see are those kind of pictures.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. And those ones
Hmm.
look fake already because it's like they're so staged, right? Because it's like, smile.
Yeah, but you got it.
Smug.
But yeah, like I'm an army brat, so like I've seen like a million of those. Like yeah, it's just slightly tilted to the side, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's so posed and so awkward, and this
Mm-hmm.
is very much like a please be done.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I wonder if this section has more books that might have interested Mal. Any more in this vein or similar pictures. So I'm going to snoop around the main scene of the case, hoping to find an overlooked piece of evidence or any evidence at all, signs of Mal's passage, other books that might have signifiers that they poked through them, or I'm not sure how, like maybe there's still a book that has that scent of running water on it, like there's still a dampness in the air.
Ooh, nice.
Anything that I think might still have their fingerprints on it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Who wants to flip for that?
I will.
Uh,
Um, let me do that. Let's see. Rolling. Bloop. Come on. Vague and unhelpful.
Oh no!
Whoopsie doodle. Okay. Um. Yeah. So you're snooping and overlooked piece of evidence.
Gonna say like dust motes are something that is one of the ways that you can tell when Mal's been around, and
Mm-hmm.
I think since this is vague and unhelpful, I
Yeah. Go
think
ahead.
clearly it looks like this section that this book came from, like it's been a while since it's been dusted, but it doesn't look like it's like necessarily like Mal stood here for too long. It's just like yeah, it's just dusty in here. It's not out of place, so it's could be that he was here, but it could be that the librarian just needs to clean up some more.
Right. Oh my gosh.
It's an infinite library. They can't be everywhere.
Mm,
Exactly.
no.
I,
I
I think
mean,
I think Carlos
I,
Carlos looks over at Anna and just gives this helpless shrug after wandering up and down the shelves for a bit.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
oh, I think that is the perfect time. I think I'm, or Anna is looking at Carlos, who's like, I don't know. And I think over his shoulder, she spots like a dark shape in the library. And she kind of like looks and blinks a couple of times. And it's not like a trick of the light. And there is indeed a shadowy figure spying on us while we are investigating. Um, and Anna uh, kind of hikes up the hem of her dress and starts to go to march forward to speak with it because she's getting frustrated. And
Wait,
it's
miss. And Carlos is just does not react fast enough to stop her.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Um,
What do we have here?
oh, that was not the voice that I was expecting. Hello there. My name is Anna Whitmore. Um, might I ask why you are staring at us?
I curl around these books, Anna Whitmore. Perhaps I look and observe.
Oh, I love people watching too. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it's a beautiful day, and I'm out at the park. Might I ask you some questions about a friend of mine, Malizi? She looks over at Carlos to see if she said that right.
Carlos has his arms crossed and is staring dubiously at this figure. He looks none too pleased with this encounter.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the shadowy figure is like, like you just see this amorphous blob kind of like bobbing like in between like the stacks of books, and it's sort of at head level, but you can't tell whether that's because it is like, your height or if it's because it is truly curled among the stacks and you have no idea how big it actually is.
Mhm.
What kind of questions, Anna Whitmore?
Should I roll now, or should I just keep the
Oh
scene
no,
going?
go ahead and roll. I want to see
Okay,
what kind of
okay. I'm
answers you're
like,
gonna
I'm like,
get.
should I ask the question first, or should I just? Okay. Oh no, that's tails.
This doesn't seem to be working out for Anna terribly well.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question, and it's I'll see how vague and unhelpful this shadowy figure can be.
Mostly questions of, well, I have a name now, Malizi, and I have a vague, uh, no, that's what I would like to know. What exactly are they? Do you know?
I know. But I don't have to say. Maybe it's their business and not yours.
Anna is stumped because at this point she would normally lay on the charm and start trying to like trade or, bargain. She doesn't know what this thing is either. So I think she just kind of looks over at Carlos a little hopelessly and sees him all dubious and in the background.
I think, yeah, Carlos will speak up at this point and say, it seems we do not have much we can offer each other, so maybe it's best to get you back to your room. Back to your room, Ms. Whitmore. The
Yes.
library will. I'm sure the library will be waiting for. I'm sure the library will be waiting for you later, some other day.
A free bit of advice, Anna Whitmore. Beware shadowy figures by yourself.
Surely a guest of the Hotel California would be welcome and not inconvenienced here in the library. But still, it pays to be prudent.
It pays to be prudent, true.
And you hear a last hiss before the shadowy figure recedes back into the shelves.
You just watch Carlos let out a breath that you didn't realize he'd been holding.
All right, so look at the score. If more coins have come up tails, the case is still shrouded in uncertainty. Maybe you know the who, but not the why or how of it all. You don't have enough evidence to draw a solid conclusion.
We know they were here.
You know they were
We know some of
here.
the books they liked.
And you
Maybe
got a
Shadowy Figure.
name. You didn't have a name before.
Yeah,
Didn't have a
you got a
name
little bit
before.
of information. Yeah, yeah. You don't know exactly what. Right, right. And the name of the front desk person was the librarian. Yep.
Mm.
Yep. A very changeable being. Because they could be the librarian or the librarian. So, but yeah. So, and again, you can visit anytime, anywhere you want. So if you do want to return to the library,
I feel like if the parasitic library eats a guest of the Hotel California, there is going to be an intergalactic diplomatic incident. But
look
it's not.
now. I mean, there's no guarantee that you're gonna have. I cannot remember the name of the organization, but
Division.
you're not gonna have any guarantees that Division's gonna come in and rescue you. I'm so sorry, but
Yeah.
because the Hotel California is gonna move. Right.
Carlos is going to entreat you to come take a look through the parlor so that he can show you some of the pictures he meant.
Bingo. All right, cool. All right. So we're hitting upon some time here. So I want to you leave some time for stars and wishes. there's plenty more to explore for next time. But that is the first of our mini games and such to you can check out anytime you like. Stars, uh, anything that you liked about the gameplay, role play, each other, and wishes are things that you'd like to see for next time or the future for the series. Yeah.
I guess I can go. Moments that jumped out as especially delightful in this session. Um, uh, Mac, I loved your immediate stepping in and describing that as soon as Anna opened the door a crack, Mal had mirrored that slice of her face and only that slice. That was a great character beat for our doppelganger. Um, Mads, I didn't know that I needed the parasitic library to insert itself jump scare style into the hotel, but I really appreciate that poll and all of the characters that you've got from that setting. That was a fun romp. And Susan, along those lines, when you were describing things that you were holding from back from Carlos, the con artist's existential crisis about what if this stuff really is real and how do I feel about that? I like that beat for Anna, and I kind of have a wish to see sort of more of what happens as Anna sort of experiences actually undeniable supernatural stuff, like how she slots that into her worldview, particularly when it becomes clear that the hotel does not expect her stay to be short. That's what I got.
I love how curious Anna is. She's only been here a day. She thinks she's on vacation, but yet she's all into trying to figure out this entity that and doesn't seem to bat an eye at two other entities that she comes across as part of that, which I think is really fun. Mads, I
What
like.
what do you mean? That was a librarian.
Sure was. I really liked the shadow in amongst the stacks. Like that was I liked the very sinister but not malevolent. Or at least that's the way it seemed like it was being portrayed. At least I liked that entity and how you took it. And I like that Carlos is just unfazed by everything. Just like, yeah, all right, might as well be this. And as far as wishes, I think I want to see some of the other creepy and interesting places in the hotel and just what we end up coming up with for them.
For sure. Oh my gosh, there's like so much. I mean, like we haven't even looked at the stuff that's on the Miro board yet because that's the thing that lists like the different locations that has its own prompt and then like kind of has a lead into okay, what do you find here or what can you do here or whatever, and it's just like weird and just could tie into some other things that you might discover elsewhere, right? So these are not the only things that you can do in the hotel. Oh my gosh. And doesn't even cover like the stuff that you can do with each other. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these characters are just so interesting, like right off the get, which I love, absolutely adore. Yeah, I mean, the whole conversation with um, uh, Mal and Anna, like with the door, and then like how you pictured it at how you did the camera at the end. Um, Susan was just absolutely brilliant because like you could totally picture it in my head, and then like for the ending, even though you didn't follow like how the coins worked. I mean, it didn't matter because I mean that was such like such a great ending for that particular scene, and I enjoyed being an audience for that, so that was really cool. And then like just the different dreams in the beginning, that was really fun to like imagine and then also ask questions about to try to feel out how the characters kind of like saw existence and just kind of like saw how their dreams were affecting them, just from the start. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously some things were already mentioned, like, so I'm not going to repeat them, but stars for everybody for just these very interesting people that and things that we're getting to watch. And I want to see, my wish, just to see how they develop over the course of the sessions. It's like, are they going to be involved with each other, or are they going to be involved in the mystery of the hotel and get deeper into the intrigue of what does it mean to be here, and what does it mean to be here for as long as you are, so it's going to be a mystery in itself, and I can't wait to see what we do with it. So and I'm hoping that you develop an appreciation for like all the different things that could be done, especially because of the replayability of these mini games, right? In some of the Firebrand games, there's like a specific structure to it where, like, you can tell sort of like where one game could lead into another game, which could lead into another game. And there's also a structure of, well, you're heading towards this particular end game. In this one, not necessarily, you could live here indefinitely. You could investigate. You could end play if you want to revolt against the hotel, or if you think your character death is imminent from something or someone, whatever. So, I mean, like, it just gives you a lot of choices, and I can't wait to see what we do with it. Okay? So, and this is just the first session. Yay! All right. So, consider, let's see, Mack, and then brain does not want to work. Okay, Susan. So then it will be Will's turn for next time when we start off again. Yep. So start looking at which game you want to play for next time when we start. And then we'll go from there. Alrighty. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Bye.